Good morning, Kentucky. It's almost 6:30, and listen, I requested it, and Dillon made it happen. It's Groundhog's Day, and he has his top hat on.
Fresh off the off Broadway of young Abraham Lincoln. Here he is himself.
We have the top hat. I wish I had the black suit to match it, but I was not prepared. But I was prepared with the hat.
Yeah. So the reason that I told him I wanted him to put it on is because it's Groundhog's Day.
Yes.
The little groundhog always wears a top hat.
Yeah, and all the people with him, with his prognostication there.
That's right.
So let's get into a little bit of the stats behind Groundhog Day. So Punxsutawney Phil we're talking about, though there are other animals out there, including West Virginia's own French Creek Freddy. But if he sees a shadow, 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, means an early arrival of spring. Phil has made 128 predictions over the years. 108 of those were continued winters, with only 20 early springs. So this year's forecast, you ask, for Punxsutawney. Let's go ahead and look at it here. Sunrise officially at 7:28, and it is mostly cloudy there with the possibility of a little fog. So it's going to be tough for our buddy Phil to see his shadow this year. But how about my forecast? Well, the middle of the month of February, at least through the first half, is looking above average for us and across the region. But that does not mean an early arrival of spring, because the end of February is looking colder than normal, especially for the southeast. But again, spring doesn't officially start until March. So how about February, March, and April? Here's a look at that temperature outlook there. So we're right around average, with the further north and the east that you go, kind of above average. So this is a typical El Nino pattern. I will say the end of the month of February looks a little cold, so we could go from very mild through the first half of February to colder towards the end of the month, before in March we return to a little bit closer to average. So where we end up at the end of that is still to be determined, but we'll see who's right, me or the rodent here this year.
Well, I'm going to go with science, because I'm a scientist. So, Dillon, thank you very much.
Yes.
You've made my day by putting that top hat on.
Great groundhog stats, too. He's not going to let that groundhog out-science him or outdress him.
Never.
Yep. Dillon, appreciate it.